Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on May the 1st, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. In terms of the data that came out today, we did have ECB, and ECB essentially reiterated their support for the markets as we had expected them to do. And then we had a bunch of data out of the US. Now the jobs numbers here came in worse than expected, and we did see US dollar drop as a result. There was also a Fed announcement here that was not scheduled previously. And in the announcement here, basically Fed talked about more support for the markets, and they also talked about how we may see worse numbers for GDP than they had previously expected. So that was again negative for the US dollar as well. And coming up here today, we have CPI numbers for Japan. And at this point, the numbers are supposed to be worse than expected, but similar to what we saw here, if the numbers are worse here than what the expected numbers are, we could see yen drop. Now we had, we saw quite an interesting play in the yen crosses. Japanese yen moved in the opposite direction. So we'll talk about that when we get to our charts here. With this here, if we see a big drop in the numbers, again, it could be negative for the yen crosses, and we could see a follow through on the move that we saw earlier today. And also we have PMI manufacturing numbers here for Japan as well. Right now, the numbers are expected to stay the same, but I would expect them to drop here. So if they do drop, that would be negative for Japanese yen, and we could see yen crosses go up as a result. Tomorrow, on Friday here, a number of countries around the world here have a day off. China, European Union here. So expect low liquidity market conditions as a result of that, with number of markets being closed. And also today was month end as well, and we saw some of those flows come into place, especially with the yen crosses. We saw a big move to the upside here, and that was largely due to the month end a fix in the market, especially with it being holiday on Friday here. So that was something to keep in mind, but I would expect low liquidity market conditions coming up here as well. We have final manufacturing PMI numbers here for UK, same thing here. If the numbers come in below expectations, we could see a drop in British pound. So today we did see a big move to the upside in pound. And if the numbers are positive, we could see a continuation of that move. So that's something to keep in mind. We also have manufacturing PMI numbers for Canada as well as US here. So the numbers haven't been coming in that positive for the US. And we have also seen the number of coronavirus cases have gone up, as have the number of deaths. So together with the data and the coronavirus cases, if we see negative numbers here, we could see US dollar get hit. So just that's something to keep in mind here. Another thing was jobless claim numbers here. That was, the number was quite a bit, like we just mentioned here. The problem is the overall number has now crossed 30 million. So that shows that the economy could be in for really bad case or worst case scenario than what has been kind of taken into account. And that's why the US dollar kind of got hammered today. So let's go on to our charts here. We'll start off with euro dollar. So euro, as we saw, took a big, or had a big move to the upside here. We'll take a look at the 1 hour chart here. We see this big inefficient move to the upside here. Now on the daily here, even though this looks like a bullish move, I would be a little I would be cautious with this one because if the price stays below, actually, let's say 109.80. If it stays below 109.80, the chances are we will see a move back down. In that case, the first target here is 108.85 and potentially all the way into 108.60 or 108.50 level here, all the way back down here. So overall, I am looking for a pullback here. I'm not looking for a very strong move to the upside unless we do see bad numbers come out of the US. So be mindful of this. I think we could get a pullback here before we see a move higher. Caution here would be this pivot point level at 1.0920. If it holds above this level, we can see that continuation move. But once it drops through the pivot point level, then I would look for a move back towards 108.50. So for now, bias is neutral for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one had a big move to the upside as well. We see price went right into this resistance area. So looking at the 1 hour chart, we can see a similar move to the upside here. Price just took off. So at this point though, I'm not hugely bullish on this one as well. Here I would again look for this move back towards 1.2520 and potentially into even into 1.2465 level, back into the support level here. So I would watch out for this one. I think we could see a drop. Now caution again would be the pivot point level or just above the pivot point level. If price is not able to break through that support level, we could see another move to the upside. But for now, I am looking for a pullback. And we'll just have to see where it comes down to, whether we just see it come right into the break point here, or will it come all the way down? So for now, bias is neutral for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, this one has turned today with the markets dropping. So Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar are both tightly tied into the markets, or I should say equity markets. And with equity markets dropping today, we have seen a similar drop in all the commodity currencies as well. So here my bias is to the downside. We don't have a bearish engulfing candle just yet, but I am looking for a drop back towards 0.6440. And if it gets through that, second target is 0.6400. So bearish bias here for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one, we do have a bearish candle close for the day. So looking for price to drop further here. In terms of our target, the first target here is 0.6080, and then second target is 0.6040. So bias is bearish for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, price has held the support level here, and we see a bullish candle close for the day. So this is looking bullish. Next target here is 1.400. So that's the first target. And should we see a move higher, 1.4080. So bullish bias here for dollar CAD. Let's take a look at our commodities. And we'll start with silver here. We see price is still trading in this range. It did go into the high of the range, and now it's holding here. So it held below the high of the range, and now it has come and tested the bottom of the range as well. But we do have a nice bearish candle close. However, we had a similar candle close here as well, and it just couldn't break the support. So at this point, I would look for a bit of a pullback and then a further move to the downside. So we could see a pullback potentially into 15.06. And if it holds below that, I will look for a drop back towards the support level at 1450 and then potentially into 1420. So bearish bias here for silver. Gold here, gold tried to go through here, got turned around. So this one here as well has a has some inefficient moves here as well. So we have to be careful because we could see pullbacks. So in this case, first pullback, I'm looking at 1690 and then even 1697, but bias is bearish here, and the target is 1670. So bearish bias here, but with caution, look out for those pullbacks. Oil here, oil's looking bullish. It went right into our second target of 21. Still looking bullish, very strong close into that resistance, but it is into resistance. So we have to be cautious here, because if it holds below 21, we could see it come back down. Right now, though, it is looking bullish, so bias is bullish. Next target is 23.50. And then above that, we are looking at 25.20. So bullish bias here, but same problem here. It is right into resistance. If it holds below 21, we could see it drop. Copper here, copper is looking bearish. We see that price wasn't really able to hold above the resistance level here. And now we have a bearish candle close, so looking for a drop. First target is 2.27 and then 2.25. So bearish bias here for copper. Bitcoin, we saw a big move yesterday, and today it went right into our second target here, but then it has reversed or it dropped off of that. Now looking for a move to the downside, 8,400 is the first target, and should it get through that, then we're looking at 8,250. So bearish bias here for Bitcoin. Equities here, equities short turnaround. And this tends to happen when we get this buy the rumor, sell the news type of story. The earnings from the tech companies came in better than expected. And as a result, we were seeing all the equities move up. Overall, there was a risk on environment with all the different countries, or many different countries, talking about easing restrictions, opening up the economy and all of that. Now, though, we are seeing a bit of a reversal here. Not sure if you're looking for a move back down all the way, but I'm definitely looking for a bit of a drop here. So potential pullback into 89.20. And then first target here is 28.50. And then the second here is 28.20 and potentially into 27.80. So bearish bias here for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, this is looking bearish as well. We have a nice bearish candle close here. Price was into resistance, couldn't really go through it. So first target is 87.35 and then 86.50. So bearish bias here. Dow Jones, this is looking bearish as well. I would look for a pullback potentially into 24,300 and then a drop from there. So in something like this, first target is 23,850, and then below that we're looking at 23,620. So bearish bias here for Dow Jones. DAX here, this one also reversed. It went up and then came back down. Now price is into support, so watch out for that. If it holds up above this, actually this may be closed tomorrow though. So yeah, so this may not move, but check with your broker if it's closed or not. But in terms of the next move here, if it goes through the support of at 10,830, I will look for a further drop here. First target is 10,600. And should it drop further, we are looking at 10,450. So bearish bias here for DAX. FTSE here, this one as well turned around, looking bearish here. Next target here is 5,800. And I would watch out for a pullback potentially into 59.70 or even into 58.85 or 59.50, yeah, somewhere around there. Basically, I'm looking for a bit of a pullback before a drop here, so like that. First target is 5,800, and second target here is 57.20. So bearish bias here for FTSE as well. And last one here, we have Nikkei. Nikkei is looking bearish as well. First target here is 19,635 and then 19,360. So bearish bias for Nikkei as well. So right now with some of the markets being closed tomorrow, as well as what we saw, the price action that we saw in today's trading, I would say to just be cautious. Looks like we'll have low liquidity conditions tomorrow, which means prices can move around quite sharply. So we just need to be careful. So that's it for today. Have a wonderful trading day, and I will be back again tomorrow. No, sorry, I'll be back again on Sunday with our weekly analysis. Bye for now.